Hey all, Hibber here. So you're not alone if you, well, succumb to the temptation to actually buy some Black Friday boxes, because I did as well. And I promised myself I wasn't going to buy any this year because I don't really have any commanders I really want to upgrade anymore. I have pretty much have everything the way I want it. And like the main reason I buy Black Friday boxes is to get universal commendations, really. Also insignia, but like primarily universal commendations. And as I don't really have any commanders I need to upgrade, then there's not really any point. But I did get two black ships, and the first one is Graf Spee black here, and I also got Exeter black. And they were really the only ships I was interested in anyway. So Spee here, Graf Spee B, funny name. I run an agile build with Lucians, with Baltimore and Tesla. And of course all the perks: Genius, Full Speed Ahead, Velocious, Steer Clear, Fully Packed, all the usual agile perks. On the ship we have aiming systems, and then we have steering gears. So just want to mention this sonar here, 5.3 kilometer range. Don't forget that, very useful when you're hunting destroyers. 5.6 rudder and 32 knots. So recently I've come to like Graf Spee here. It's not like a fantastic cruiser by any means, but when you get the right battle and the right circumstances, you can do extremely well in this thing here. And I like it because I can now put an agile build on it, and although it's not like particularly agile compared to tier 7, it's still quite good. And you can get both turrets in the action, which is nice on this thing here, where you only have 2 turrets and a whopping 6 barrels. What I really like about this cruiser is like the magnificent sonar that you get here at tier 5. It's even better than Exeter's, and I love that sonar already. I don't really get to use it much in this battle here, and of course taking out destroyers isn't really Graf Spee's forte, because I mean you have nearly 20-second reload on your guns, and the dispersion is not very good, and in general it's just hard to get the guns on a small target like a destroyer and then actually scoring a hit as well. So Spee can punish battleships, and especially cruisers if they show broadside, and or like in the case of the more skinny British ones, if they angle a little bit so you're able to citadel them. If they show broadside, which you'll see later in this game here, it's tend to get like all overpens. Now, not everyone wants to run an agile build on the ship, and I totally get it. I just do it because, well, I'm pretty much used to it, and I just expect a ship to react like quickly. So that's why I pop it on. And then it's not that sturdy, this cruiser, either. It's actually quite like paper thin, really. So you gotta be a little careful, especially against battleships. But then on the other hand, against cruisers, actually, it's actually okay. You can pull off some more or less tricky things, and that's what I like in this ship here. And also the fact that not many people play it. Like, one, it's a premium, and two, it's one of the more like strange premiums, I guess. And like, to spend money on this ship, you have to be like either very interested in World War II ships in general, or you just collect it for the sake of collecting it, I guess. No one really buys this ship because it's great or amazing at something. It's like, it's not bad, like I say, but it's not the best cruiser at the tier at all. It's decent though, and it gives you something completely different to play, because there's really no other cruiser in the game quite like Spee here, like where you get only 2 turrets and massive guns, and yet you still have cruiser armor, but you have battleship speed pretty much, and almost a battleship rudder. So it's a very like paper thin kind of battleship-ish cruiser, and that makes for some interesting plays. I think so. And like I said before, because I can now make this cruiser semi-agile, like I play it a lot more, because I think it's a lot more fun, and really that is the goal for me anyway, personally, is to have fun when I play the game. And a ship that's a little bit different and requires, a little bit of different thinking and like some adventure, I guess it's a good thing, because this game here can get very, very stale, and it's nice to have a ship like Spee here to like, make the game a little bit more interesting when you've had enough of the usual 5 or 6 good ships in the game. The problem with Spee is that it takes so long to change your ammunition. So here I should really change to HE, but I just can't be bothered, because sooner or later this guy is going to show broadside and I'm just going to keep my AP loaded. Of course, in another cruiser where you have half the reload, you could have switched to HE and then switched back to AP. But in Spee, you pretty much just have to stick with what you have loaded, because the reload is long. I really like the torpedoes on this ship as well. I actually use them quite a lot, because with an agile build I'm able to get in close and, like I did before, pretty much just go through the enemy caps at high speed and just get the citadels that are presented to me. And if I get to fire my torpedoes, that's great as well, because most people don't brawl in Spee. Like pretty much every other Graf Spee player I see, they have a full AP build with like a range build or something, and they sit somewhere on the moon and then they shoot at ships that are sailing on Mars, something like that. And you've seen the dispersion on this thing here, and it's pretty bad, to be honest. So really you have to be within 10-11 kilometers to have anything that resembles like a trustworthy dispersion, and that's why I put an agile build on the ship. So it means I can get closer to the enemy without taking too much damage, and it means I can get off, well, better salvos really. And of course I can also cap, and if a destroyer presents an opportunity, I might even be able to take one of those out, but that is a rarity in this ship here, because the guns just aren't very good at that. So because the reload is so long in this ship here, you tend to only get one chance at taking out an enemy. And in this case here, I can see that this Leander here, I think it is, he's not aware of me approaching. So I'm only going to be able to get one salvo off, at least then I have to wait 20 seconds. So I'm going to use my torpedoes to force this guy to do something other than going bow on. And that's why I'm not shooting, because I only get one salvo here. So I'm just waiting to see what's he gonna do, and I don't want him to be full broadside. I just need him to turn a little bit, and right there, that's the moment. And we needed 2 turrets as well. That's why I was broadside, because well, in case I miss with the first one, I absolutely need the second one. Otherwise, I would have been sitting duck there for 20 seconds. So it's definitely a quirky ship that requires a little bit of battleship gameplay and also a little bit of cruiser gameplay, and I like that. It's just different, and it brings a little bit of new flavor to the game. And actually, it is quite an old premium. Really, I think it's more than a year old. And once it came out, I believe I got it for free through Wargaming back when I was a CC, but I can't remember. I don't think I bought it. But anyway, there it is. Well, the black one. I mean, I was talking about the original version. And by the way, they are exactly the same. The only difference is the camouflage. So why Wargaming just don't sell black camos for the original ship is beyond me, but that's their thing, I guess. But I would like them to make the black ships at least just a little bit different from the standard. I mean, not better, but just different. And it just has to be a little thing, like take 2 knots off the speed and take a second of the rudder or something like that. That just makes it different from the normal premium, because honestly, a little bit boring to get this black ship here, and it is exactly the same ship that you already have, except for the stupid camo that's just black anyway. And it does actually look pretty good on the ship here, but I would never buy a black ship just to get the black ship. Well, that's not true. I did chase down the Atago black, so but that's because I really love that ship and I wanted to have it, and I got it. But anything else, very doubtful, and especially like kind of mediocre ships like Spee here and some of the other ones. Not really sure. So we're not doing too well here. We're going to lose on points unless either I go all the way over to D and cap that. And I'm contemplating right now what to do. Should I go to D or should I take on this battleship here? And if I sink the battleship, we'll get, I believe it's 50 points or something like that, which would put us in the lead. And it might not actually win us the game, but at least it'll make it even. Because I think with only less than 4 minutes left, I don't think I can make it all the way to D and cap for any like meaningful period. So really, that's why I'm turning around now. I'll have to take on this California here, and he's nearly full health, and he is obviously aware that he is the key to victory here. So he's just sitting there waiting for, well, I don't know what he's waiting for, but probably for the time to run out. Another good thing with agile builds, especially on Spee here, is the fact that you are able to trick carriers when they go for their torpedo runs or their bomb runs, because no one really expects a Graf Spee to be able to turn as fast as this one can. That's unusual. Like I said, I don't see anyone else running this build here on it, although it works really, really well. But anyway, you can see that torpedo bomber there. He's just trying to get at my broadside, and I don't really want to give it up. So, but on the other hand, I have to make it down here to the other side of the cap so I can set up a torp run on that battleship. But luckily, it looks like he's going for the other cruiser, at least with the first run, and then I only have to worry about the second. So he took out the Königsberg, which makes me pretty much the last ship left. There is a carrier left, but he's one of those carrier players that thinks it's a good idea to park the carrier in the corner of the map and then spend a minute flying in to the middle of the map in the plains. And I mean, that's not a good idea. Like in this case here, he should be much closer to the cap to be able to help me out, but not gonna happen. So I was expecting this California here to stop, but on the other hand, I had to fire, because in case he didn't stop, then I would have got an easy kill there. But I still have my torps on the other side, and now he's feeling safe now. He's seen the torpedoes go past, so he's thinking, oh, he probably fired his torpedoes and he doesn't have any left. And then of course I get stuck on a rock that's like a rock unknown to mankind here. So that's typical. But in any case, this is a one-way ticket, because I was spotted for a brief moment before, so he's well aware where I am. So I just want to get off my torpedoes, and then obviously I'm going to get dev stroke there. But I do get off my torpedoes, and that was the main thing here. And it looks like we're going to get a hit with all 4 of them, which is a very nice one there. But high caliber, but no kill. So that means that we are going to lose this battle here, and we are actually far behind now, because we also lost the cruiser before. So there's really no salvaging this stuff, unless the carrier decided to actually come out of hiding and perhaps assist. But yeah, not to be. So that was a Graf Spee Black for you guys here, and yeah, it's a loss, but still a pretty good battle. It's a good ship. Above average, but it's not by any means a tier destroyer or anything like that. So would I buy it? No, if I had the choice I wouldn't, but I just happened to get it in crates. So yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you out there.